Good morning and welcome to GKBA Today, where we always feature an esteemed member of the association. And as always, I like to thank community newspapers for this platform. We could not do it without them. So today we have somebody who takes care of you. Are you insured? Are you sure that you have enough insurance? Today we have Lymari Bermudez from Del Toro Insurance. Lymari, how are you?
I'm great, thank you, and good morning.
Good morning. So you are quite the entrepreneur. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, let's talk about you because, as I always say, people do business with people, not with companies. So tell us where you're from originally and how you made it to Miami.
So thank you for the invite.
Of course.
Thank you, Community News, for letting me be here in Greater Kendall, of course. Well, yes, I am originally from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Born in Puerto Rico, raised between Puerto Rico and New York.
What does that mean, raised between? You went back and forth?
My mother was a free spirit, so she traveled almost every year. She wanted to be here, over there, so I transfer in and out of schools a lot. But we were raised between Brooklyn and Carolina, Puerto Rico. And then 1 year we decided to move to Miami, and I've been here since.
So it's from New York to Miami.
Well, actually, I skipped a beat. We moved to upstate New York for a while. Rochester. That was fun and cold.
Very cold.
So close to Canada.
Yeah, I have actually been to Rochester.
Yeah, it's a very small town. But it's nice. And then from there, we just drove down here in a U-Haul, and that was it.
I don't know if you knew this, but one of the big companies that's there is Kodak. Kodak.
Yes.
So
it's very small. I still remember my old address, the town. Like I could picture it, like if I was there.
Yeah. So was it a good experience living there?
It was.
Okay.
It was a little too quiet.
Okay.
And there was nothing to do. You had to drive far to go do anything or go into the city, the other cities around, and
Got it.
Plus, I was younger.
Right.
So it was mostly, I was focused on whatever my mom was doing.
Right.
And although I already had a child.
Okay.
It was still more like, okay, wherever your family goes, you follow.
You got to go. Get it. Okay. So fast forward, you're in Miami, and what did you do when you got here?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Miami it's fun. It's the city where the imagination lives. So I finished school. I continued my family, and eventually now I have my business.
Right.
But it was a lot of different things between when I got here.
Like what? Tell me. Give me a few of them.
Well, let's see. I collect comic books.
Okay.
So I continued my collection of comics books when I got here.
Okay.
Actually, I started my collection of comics books when I got here.
Okay.
I had inherited some.
Okay.
But then I continued the rest.
And you have that as a business or just for fun?
It's just for fun.
Okay.
I don't barely even look at them. They're put away.
Okay.
They are, organized and sealed. Some of them I have never opened, and I just know they're there. So if I see new ones that catch my attention, I will buy them.
Do you ever trade them with other people and things like that?
I have never.
You've never done that? Okay.
So I know I have some pretty good ones, and I'm kind of scared to show them to anyone, and they can lowball me, and I don't really want to sell.
Okay. I get it. Then outside of that, what did you do for work?
Let's see. I've worked many companies. I've mostly customer service has been my realm, and always behind the scenes. So I would be the voice you talk to when you call to complain about your phone bill or your TV not working right. I will walk you through how to fix it or things like that.
You were the cable person?
Believe it or not, I was your technician when you called.
Okay.
I still can.
Troubleshoot?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So you are no way behind the scenes anymore. You are very much up front. So how did you first get into insurance?
So my dad, who I call dad, was not my dad.
Right.
But he was in the military, and my whole side of the family was in the military. So he said to me, maybe I should just do something for a company that works with the military so I could feel like I'm doing something.
Okay.
And I took it as an offense. I said, well, you know what? I'll go work for USAA.
Okay. Interesting.
And I got a job with no knowledge of anything with insurance, and they helped me a lot and opened my eyes to a world that I did not know.
And what was your first job at USAA?
Sales.
Oh, you were in sales right from the get-go?
Right from the get-go.
Did they train you?
Yes.
Okay.
They trained me very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how you got started. That's how it all started.
That's how the hunger for knowing more started.
Okay.
So I was very limited to the lines that I was working on, and I wanted to do more. I was intrigued by more.
And this was you're in Miami at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
And what lines did you start with?
Personal, auto, and
okay.
Eventually went to all personal, but personal umbrellas, high value, in the millions, 10s and 20s. But I kind of wanted to see the other side of not just the personal side. I wanted to see more of the commercial side to see, well, what about the big buildings? What about the high rises? What about the new constructions in Miami? And all those things intrigued me. So I kind of wanted to go on my own a little bit afterwards. And I've always been the type that I start something and now I want more, a little bit more. So, okay, this is good and all, but what's next? This is good, but what's next? I don't know if that's a good thing or...
I think it is a good thing. Personally, I think it's definitely a good thing.
So that's where I am, in the what's next now.
You're in the what's next. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. So you're working for USAA, right? And while you were there, were you able to get more knowledge of commercial and things like that, or no?
The way it was set up, it was a little bit difficult. Plus, I did have some issues within myself that I couldn't continue to at the moment. So it was kind of like either stop doing what I'm doing right now for this medical reason or stay. It was kind of like a hit or miss. So it wasn't that the opportunity wasn't 100% there.
Okay.
I wasn't 100% there either. So it made it a little difficult to stay and grow with the company.
Got it. So how long were you with USAA?
Couple years.
Couple years?
Yeah.
And when did you make the big jump into entrepreneurship? And what triggered that for you to say, you know what? I'm going to walk this tightrope. I'm going to launch. What motivated you to do that?
Believe it or not, from one day to the next, I got tired of having a calling sick and having to explain certain things or requesting time. I needed time for myself and for my family. And I said, well, I could do this on my own and still make money and have more flexibility. So that's when I started looking into my options of going outside and going to my own business. So I went out and started looking at what was available that I can do from home.
So that's really interesting that what motivated you was a health issue.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I had never heard that before.
Well, I see it as an eye-opener.
Okay.
And if not, I would have still been stuck where I was a couple of years back.
Okay.
And a lot has happened between. I feel great. My family's great. And, but I needed that time to do so. I needed to be able to, okay, well, I can't work today, but I have somebody running the show. So I'm okay with that.
Right.
Bills are still getting paid and everything is still working. So
okay.
As long as that's happening, then I'm okay.
All right. So you decided to start something on your own. How did you go about that? How did you go about saying, you know, I'm going to start my agency. I'm going to buy a franchise. how did you make that decision for the direction you finally went in?
Well, I have a business degree.
Okay.
So I said, let me use it. Let me put on my smart hat and see where I can make money outside of here, but using what I've learned here. So I went out and vetted a lot of companies. I also was going to do it on my own. And it seems smart and the right thing to do at the time to follow somebody else's guide when they have already been successful.
Right.
So,
and that's the big advantage of a franchise. You've got a model there.
yes.
You know it works.
Yes.
And then you have to just pick up and run with it, I guess.
Almost like a tag along. You can tweak yourself and
Right.
bring your persona, and that's the key part into it.
Right.
It's not just going to work because it's been done before. You have to
Right.
keep working at it
Yep.
and make it your own at the same time.
And then bug the franchisor for things you don't like, right? Like we've talked about off camera before.
Well, I think that's with anything you do, because
Absolutely.
if you don't know what you're doing wrong, you can't fix it.
Right.
And then if I'm not aware and I'm just oblivious to the situation, then it's just going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
And that goes to everyone, because I am the same way. I tell my kids, if you don't tell me I'm ignoring you, I'm going to continue to ignore you when you're talking to me. So
Yeah.
you have to tap me on my shoulders, shift me a little bit.
I get that.
Yeah. So
I get it. All right. So here you are. You've decided, hey, I'm going to go with something that's already proven. I'm going to go with a franchise. How did you go about evaluating the different franchise options you had?
I had support behind the scenes. So
Okay.
I did consult legally with some the legal team and reviewed my options. I kind of did surveillance,
Get you?
and investigated on my own
Right.
to see if what I saw was something that I could work with.
Okay.
And that's how I made my decision.
Great. So you bought your first franchise, you bought a second one, and I mean, how does that feel to break away from, a health issue, a company where you were going, really, your growth was stunted? How did you feel?
I felt, I'm not going to say great.
Okay.
Because that's an exaggeration.
Okay.
I felt like, wow, what did I just do?
Oh yeah, I get that.
But every day I would wake up and say, I could do this, I can do this. And then it just eventually became something natural that I am doing, and I am great at it, and I am learning. But when I first did the purchase, it was surreal. I was a little bit nervous.
Of course.
Because
was it the biggest purchase you've ever made, or not? Or was your home a bigger purchase?
I think this was more of a nervous purchase than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that if I want to do something and I believe in it right away, I don't think about it too much.
Right.
I'd go with it.
And then you say, uh-oh.
And then I say, okay, now let's adjust some things. But I believe in what I'm doing. So no matter what gets thrown at me, I'm always going to look for the next thing, because I bought the first one. Shortly after, I bought the second one. And I don't stop. I just sign up for anything that comes my way. I say yes to everything.
That can be dangerous.
Yes, it can. It can be very meaningful too.
Sure.
If you take the experience of what you said yes to and turn it into a positive.
Right.
So it's been an experience. I don't want to say anything else than that.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're in it. You're in it.
Yes.
And let's talk about insurance, because I think there are a lot of misconceptions about insurance out there. And you sell all lines, correct?
Correct.
Basically. Let's talk first auto insurance, which is, I guess, a big seller. Where do people get auto insurance wrong when they get auto insurance?
They get it wrong when they say, just give me the minimum.
The minimum. And what does Florida require? This PIP or?
So that's a misconception.
Okay.
You are able to drive with personal injury protection and property damage.
Okay.
That covers you personal injury and property damage to a third party.
Okay.
If you get stopped, you're able to drive. You can have a license.
You can show it to the police officer.
Police.
Okay.
You get into an accident and somebody else gets hurt, they can come after you. You have no protection. Then the state can require you to have, for a certain amount of time, more coverage. They can sanction you for not having enough coverage to cover a third person. And that's when it can be tricky. People usually say, well, they're paying this much. I want to pay this much. The misconception is what your neighbor's paying, you're most likely not going to pay. It's categorized different. You guys have different addresses, different everything. So it's a misconception all around that the cheapest is the best.
So, so I agree with you. I've seen a lot of people just say, give me the cheapest thing. I just want to drive my car. And then they get into an accident. Their car's not covered, right? So if I have just PIP and I destroy my car, I'm not covered, correct?
Yes. And it's really sad when people work really hard to pay off your car. You paid off your car. Now you want to take off all the coverage. You could crash tomorrow and it's total. Now you have no car, no rental reimbursement to even get to and from work, no tow, no nothing. Now you're going to call me crying. I shouldn't laugh, but it's the truth.
No, I get it.
Because people don't realize they need it until it happens.
Yeah. So what do you recommend for your regular driver? I mean, if you lease a car, you're required certain insurance.
Absolutely.
But if you buy a car, I guess the bank, does it require you to have, I guess, collision and full coverage and all that, or not?
When you're financing or leasing, you should have a certain requirement that it's usually dictated by the finance company or the leasing company. They'll let you walk out of the dealership when you show proof of that.
Right.
What I see people try to do is take off the coverage the next month. And then they'll walk around without the requirement coverage because it was too high. They bought it on an impulse because they wanted to get out of the dealership.
Right.
So they take off the coverage. Somebody will sell them the policy because they're trying to make the commission.
Right.
And you're telling them, no, I don't want that coverage. I can't prove that you don't need it. I can maybe see that there's a new car and ask you, but it's up to the customer. And if you go to a different person, it makes it difficult for the agents to kind of verify anything.
Right.
So, it's a hit or miss there.
Okay.
But it's very dangerous. Now they'll leave it on and take off maybe other coverages or increase deductibles. But the proper way would be to go with at least bodily injury.
Right.
The state offers at least $10,000 minimum required for bodily injury. You should have that.
Right.
For others. And if you have financing a vehicle, you need to have comprehensive and collision.
Right.
It protects you for theft, vandalism, totals, loss, and maybe a rental if it's the only car in the household, so that you can have a way to get back to work, to and from. And maybe if the company doesn't offer you towing, then you can add that too. That would be my recommendation for somebody that bought a car.
Right.
Yeah, at least that.
Okay. And are you an independent agent? Do you can write for several insurance companies?
Yes.
Okay.
I can have several companies under my belt for personal, commercial, you name it, we have it.
Okay.
And we can outsource whatever we can't write in-house.
Okay.
So,
what about homeowners insurance? The cost is through the roof. It's crazy. I mean, my rate went up, I think year over year, almost 20%. And it's funny because I put in a claim. I had a water issue and it ate my floor away because my house is lifted up from the ground. I have a crawl space under my house. The water was dripping on the wood rotted, blah, blah, blah. I put in a claim, and of course they denied it. They said, no, that is not a catastrophic thing that happened over time. They refused they refused to pay my claim. I didn't want to go down the route of a claims adjuster and all that. At least they didn't cancel me. But I don't know if just for putting in a claim they raised my rate. But anyway, what are you seeing out there as far as homeowners insurance rates?
Homeowners insurance in Florida can be a little tricky.
Okay.
Because a lot of companies will be here 1 year and the next year they're gone. There is a lot of companies that are coming in this year. They came in this year.
Okay.
And are opening to writing new policies. The tricky part is here, the requirements. A lot of things you think are included in the policy and they're actually excluded. Or you think it's covered under one policy, but it's actually covered under another one.
Can you give me an example?
Like flood.
Okay.
Homeowners and flood. The water from possibly water like yours.
Right.
That could, it's not flood, but
right.
It's also not covered under the homeowners because maybe the repairs were not done in time.
Right.
So there's a lot of things can be affected in that matter. I've seen a lot of scenarios where homeowners get declined because maybe the water heater is a little too old.
Wow.
Or they'll raise your premium because the water heater is too old. Or they'll come and do an inspection after the fact and you stated something on the application and when they go see it, it's different. So there's a lot of things to consider.
Right.
And
the roof also, right?
The roof, the electricity, the plumbing, the repairs. If the property is older, then you want to make sure you have documented upgrades.
Okay.
And of course, here in Florida, you need windstorms. So you need the hurricane shutters,
right.
And that
impact windows, all that.
Yeah, that one is tricky because for the most part, at least for me, most companies that I work with is either all or nothing.
What does that mean?
Meaning you have all windows protected and doors, or you don't have none.
Yeah.
So if you're missing one door or one window.
That's it, you don't get the break.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, now what?
Unreal. All right, so let's talk now about commercial insurance because you did a presentation at one of our breakfasts a while back, and I think everybody found it really interesting. And it's all about, really, I think that worse than personal lines, I think businesses totally ignore insurance. And what are some of the key coverages every business should have?
Cyber liability.
Okay.
It's the number one. You got to have cyber because whether you work from home, everything is online now. Emails, WhatsApp, instant messages, everything, all the communications. It gets just a second to destroy your company, your reputation, sell the information, and then you're left with that expense for your company. So cyber will be the number one.
Is cyber for somebody that is, let's say, a solopreneur, doesn't have employees, works out of their home? Does that make it easier or more difficult to get cyber insurance?
You can get cyber. That's actually pretty easy if it's just one user.
Okay.
There's not many interactions with like multiple users. It obviously has to be no losses. They still got to go through an application process.
Right.
But those will probably be easier
than a big company.
Than a bigger company.
Okay.
Although I have a lot of nonprofits. They have cyber liabilities and they're very easy to get and they're not that expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is an average policy if you could?
Well, I'll give you one example.
Give me an example.
I have one that has a loss.
Okay. A loss meaning what? They had a data
claim,
breach?
Yes, a data breach. So they had to provide additional documentation.
Okay.
But for the size of the company, which is about maybe I think it's 10 employees off the top of my head, between 10 and 15, the premium was under $2,000.
Wow, that's nothing. Yeah.
So way under $2,000.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
and it's already in a renewal, so it's renewing very
And they
close.
had an incident too.
And they had an incident.
Okay.
So
very reasonable.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. What other insurances do you think a business should have?
the one that everybody knows, general liability.
Right.
If you're an employer with multiple employees, you should have employer liability in case somebody wants to come after you because they got hurt or fired, or maybe they were harassed or something in the workplace.
Okay.
You want to have that. Workman's comp is very important.
Okay. For any business or more like labor intensive?
No, any business.
Any business, okay.
Yeah, as long as you have 3 or more employees in an office, you have to have.
Oh, you have to have it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a state law.
Okay.
If you're solo, you can exempt yourself.
Okay.
And that's easily done. For commercial, those would be the top 3 that I can think of right now.
What about errors and omissions? That one.
Of course. You have errors and omissions, directors and officers.
Right.
But errors and omissions for someone like me is very important because I could be telling you all this stuff.
Right.
That could be incorrect.
Right.
So that's where my errors and omissions.
But you wouldn't do that, would you?
Of course not. And my errors and omissions is up to date.
Good.
So professional liability, medical malpractice.
Right.
So many different ones that you should have. But if you are also a company that hosts events, you should have a blanket policy that covers all your events. So you're not worried about making one for every event you're hosting. So
let's say, God forbid, we have an event, somebody gets food poisoning at the event, we'll say. We're liable, right, as an organization? Or
you could be, yeah.
You could be, right?
Yeah, they could say, well, I was eating there, and that's where I started feeling sick. And then with a good attorney, anything can go far. But
and then there's ones that, let's say you do events infrequently, you can get one just for that event, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For personal and commercial, I've done it for parties at my home. I've talked about that at our last event. That is
the funniest thing. You have a party at your home and you're doing a live. What is a general liability?
It's a event. It's a party for just the one day. It'll cover 24 hours, depending how you set it up.
Right.
And then if anybody gets hurt, food poison, drink too much, or
covers drink too much, huh?
Well, you are gonna be liable if you let them out of your house and they were under the influence.
Right.
So you want to make sure you cover all your bases, and of course, don't let them leave if they're driving.
Absolutely not.
Take their keys, call them an Uber, be smart.
So, believe it or not, we're almost out of time.
Oh, that was fast.
Any words of wisdom that you want to tell the audience about insurance, any topic of insurance, whether it's business or personal?
Review your coverages.
Okay. How often?
At least once a year. Every 6 months is the proper way to do it.
Because things change, right?
Yes. Even if you don't change companies, you should get quoted with different carriers just to see if you're in the right place.
Okay.
Talk to somebody that can tell you, because policies don't talk to each other. So if you have multiple ones, talk to somebody.
I love that. Policies don't talk to each other.
They can maybe look at them together and see if you have any missing gaps or missing coverages that will cost you money in the long run.
Okay.
And then if you have any questions, you can just ask me. And
all right. So how do they get in touch with you? That's the last thing. How do they get in touch with you?
You can send me a message, direct message on my Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
36 Del Toro.
Okay, 36 Del Toro.
My phone number is 561-592-0037.
Okay.
And you can send me an email. That one is a lot longer.
Yeah.
But those probably be the best ways. Just call me or text me and message.
Okay. Thanks so much for being on the show, Lymari.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
All right. I'm glad you had a good time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at GKBA Today. We'll be back soon.